Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. NVIDIA reported earnings today. Although NVIDIA beats the earnings, but earnings surprise percentage was not impressive. I will go over the details and the impact on NVIDIA stock price for next few days in this video using data and correlation analysis. Now, let's get started. Starting with a daily summary, today Nvidia opened at 128.12. It made a high 128.33. It made a low 122.64 and it closed at 125.61 before the earnings. And that was 2.10% down. So remember yesterday and day before yesterday, I warned you guys that on the last day, based on the historical data, Nvidia goes down. So that's what happened today before the earnings. But after the earnings, situation looks out of control. So let's go over the earnings and the sales data and try to do some data analysis. In this table, I put together the EPS projected, EPS actual, and the surprise percentage for Nvidia for the past quarters and also the recent one, that is for today in column J. As you can notice, EPS projections was 0.64 and the EPS actual came 0.68 and that is 5.66% surprise and that's not impressive. Historically speaking, in the last 6 quarters, the surprise percentage was never that low. And yes, there was a decreasing trend from last few quarters on the earnings surprise percentage that I went over with you probably yesterday or day before yesterday. So from this quarter to this quarter, you see 31% decline, the surprise percentage. And from this quarter, that is this one, to this quarter, the earnings surprise was down 41%. And from this quarter to this quarter, the earnings surprise was down 15%, right? So, based on the historical data and the correlation between them, I had the opinion that in this quarter, the earnings surprise would be lower than the last quarter. And I shared with you my opinion sometime last week. Let me show you that file that I shared with you. If you remember this file, I also posted this file last week on my Patreon account. So my expectation was in this quarter, the earnings surprise should be around 8%. But in reality, it came even lower than my expectation. That is 5.66%. So that is basically about 41% decline from the last quarter. So that's why you see the market is under pressure after hours after this earnings number, you know, and that makes sense to me because the earnings surprise continues to go down even this quarter, much lower than the market expectations. And the sales number for this quarter, as you saw today, was 30 billion versus the projected 28.8 billion. And that is about 4.2% up. That's also not a very impressive number, but still, sales outlook is expanding, right? So going forward in the future, probably we should expect that this earning percentage should further contract, right? So looking at this scenario, it looks to me that in next few days, Nvidia would be under pressure. But after a few days, I expect some recovery on Nvidia. So once Nvidia is around 125, probably I will cut my positions because I'm not very confident on Nvidia earnings outlook. Let's take a look forward P for Nvidia and other AI stocks. The forward P at the market close before earnings was 43.89. The Palantir 89.29, SMCI 13.96, much lower than the last week closing. SMCI had a worse day today in last few months. I am feeling very bad on SMCI. I have SMCI stocks. Probably I will cut my position also on SMCI. I'm also not very confident on future outlook for SMCI as well. And AMD at this point before earnings was 40.87. So after this earnings data, I will do my due diligence to come up with new price range for Nvidia, and that should be valid before next quarter. And that requires some digging and further analysis because I want to give you a price range that is more reliable. I do not want to just throw the numbers. At this point, I do not think that the technical charts will be relevant today after this event. Now, let's take a look some news and see what other analysts are talking about Nvidia. You see, most of the news today is about Nvidia earnings and analysis. Let's take a look this one. This says that why Nvidia's post-earning stock drop will not be a problem for the market. Let's take a look. So it says that investors were hoping for a clear-cut message from Nvidia's earning. They reported 30 billion for this quarter. For next quarter, the guidance is 32.5 billion. And that is 2% up for next quarter. And that's not very impressive. Investors were hoping better sales outlook for next quarter. So I agree, even if the sales outlook is good for this quarter, the next quarter is further going down. And that could be another reason for Nvidia to go down that big after hours. So this means that Nvidia has less upside potential that it used to have in the previous quarters. So we should not expect about 30 or 35% increase in the Nvidia stock price in this quarter, as we saw in the last quarter and one quarter prior. Now let's take a look this one that says Nvidia said Q2 gross margins negatively impacted by inventory provisions for low yielding Blackwell materials and may continue to be. So if I read between the lines, basically they are trying to say in the next quarter and also the following quarter, the margins again would be a problem. Now this one looks good that says Nvidia CFO said demand for Blackwell platforms well above supply. Expect this to continue into next year. So demand is good. The supply has some issues. So this means that in the next quarter and the following quarter, earnings surprise percentage won't be that impressive as well. Now let's take a look this one that says Nvidia delivers a strong quarter. So this one further explains that Nvidia is struggling on the gross profit margin. So this says that company also said that gross profit margins narrowed in the quarter compared with the period that ended in April. And they put the blame on the production issues and the design issue with the Blackwell chips. And it further says that the growth is slowing down from the supercharged clip over the past year. So now I guess you get a better idea that next quarter and the following quarter we should see some slowdown on the earnings and also on the sales growth based on the issues they mentioned in the earnings call. So I guess in this quarter and the next quarter the price range for Nvidia should go down. I guess my decision to cut Nvidia position around 125 in this quarter probably is a good decision. But I'm not sure when Nvidia can touch 125 again. Probably not in next few days. Might take a few more weeks. So I have to hold Nvidia position for some time. And also, in my opinion, if you want to buy Nvidia, probably you should wait a couple more days because Nvidia should go down further, looks like. Now let's take a look other AI stocks. So all the AI stocks in my watch list are negative today. The highest negative change is on SMCI, that is 19% down. and after hours, SMCI continues to go down as well. So Nvidia was the market leader in the AI sector. So any impact on Nvidia also brings all the AI stocks down. I guess that's all about Nvidia analysis and assessment after earnings. I know the situation is depressing, but it is what it is, right? I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.